What's up, guys, and welcome to Trendy Talk Podcast. My name is Amie Lauren. I'm a fitness influencer with various businesses in the health and wellness industry. On today's podcast, we have a friend of mine who has navigated the highs and lows of her fitness journey. She's here to share her honest and inspiring story of how fitness has been a lifeline for her mental health, while also overcoming the challenges of body image and toxic mindsets. Now a soon-to-be wife, a stepmom to 4, she's embracing a new chapter in her life. Get ready for a very raw and honest conversation that will motivate you. It's Amie Hopkins.
Hi, guys.
Welcome to the pod. She's here. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you? Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. It's so cool because we hardly see each other and now we're doing a podcast.
I know.
Have you done a podcast before?
No, never.
No.
First one.
Ooh,
I know.
Hopefully the first of many.
Yeah.
Because you're not big on... Are you big on social media? Or?
No. I'm private, to be fair. I'm very quiet and private.
But have you got a private profile?
Yeah. My Instagram's private. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
But you've got TikTok as well.
Yeah, TikTok. Yeah. I like TikTok. TikTok.
Do you? I go through waves with it where I'm like really heavily on it, and then I'm like, oh shit, I haven't posted on TikTok, and then
my
I'm
TikTok's so unserious though.
Is it?
Yeah, it's just stupid stuff.
Well, thank you very much for coming. Amie is, as I said in the intro, she is getting married soon.
I am.
So we're in wedding planning bubble.
Yeah,
right
very
now.
much. Very much.
So that's why you're here in Mallorca, is kind of looking at...
Yeah, just to look at a few venues, sort of see the vibe that's here.
Have you got Pinterest?
Yes. It is a lifesaver.
Pinterest is going to be your best friend.
I feel like it's just helping so much.
Well, it helps and it doesn't, because I feel like in Pinterest, you'll put in something that's really basic, and then by the end of it, you've got like something that's super elaborate, and you're like, oh, wow, that's a great idea. And it's like, your dad's probably like, no, I don't think that's a good idea.
Let's leave that one out.
It's just calm down here. So you're thinking about either here or the UK?
Yeah, we don't know yet. We're going to go and have a look at a few, because obviously these are the first two venues we've even seen.
Yeah.
So we're just going to mix up.
What's he about? Is he interested, or is he like,
do you know what? He actually is.
That's nice.
Yeah, like he's almost like, because he knows I'm a control freak, massive control freak. So he's like, you sort it out. Yeah. And then I'll come. And to be fair, he was so cute. Like, he was like, oh, I love this place. Like, this feels like us. Like, I can see myself stood there while you walk down the aisle. Like, it was so sweet. I know.
Oh, I love this.
This is why I love this man.
Oh, bless. And he's so great, you know,
he's so cute.
You seem like a great couple, great match, which is nice.
We balance each other out. We're good for each other, really.
Exactly. Yeah. You might know Amy's brother, Harry. He did a podcast very different about the one that we're doing today, that it was more like lifestyle business kind of podcast. Would you say that you and Harry are similar, or...
Yeah, we are. We're really similar, but also, it sounds so strange to say, but so different as well. Like, we live two completely different lifestyles, but we're very similar and want the same things in a different sort of...
Well, just before we started filming, I said to Amie, I was like, oh, what's Harry up to? And she was like, he is taking my fiance into Palma, probably getting him drunk. And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Like, we call it you've been harried.
That you've been harried.
Everyone has got to get harried one time.
Well, I haven't been harried.
Harry.
I haven't been harried yet. Yeah, Harry. After my bikini fitness competition, I think I have maybe like a swarm of people ready to get me harried because everyone's always like, oh, you having a drink? And I'm like, nope. But honestly, I'm not are you a big drinker?
Not really.
I
go through waves where I'm like, oh, I really fancy a drink. And then I'm like, no. Don't want it. I'm not touching alcohol for the rest of my life.
Yeah, see, it's the hangover that just kills me. Like,
honestly, it takes me like 3 days to get over it. Then I'm super anxious. I'm like, I just can't. It's not for me.
I know sometimes I've been known to like call my mom crying and being like, I don't know if I should do I have a shower? Do I eat? Do I sleep? Like, what should I do?
Yeah, I know. It just consumes you, doesn't it?
Vile.
It's so funny.
So Amie and I are quite similar in the ways that we both attended schools in the UK, very sport-driven schools. However, I went to an all-girls school and you went to a mixed boarding.
Yeah.
So we were kind of when we were talking about the podcast and our love of sport and things, I asked Amie, like, oh, what sport did you do growing up? And you said that you do hockey, which is so funny because I was like, me too.
I know, it's so crazy, really.
So what position were you in hockey?
Depending on how fit I felt on the day, I would either be centre mid or right wing.
Was that in case you'd been harried the night before? Yeah. You were like... Okay, so centre mid, right? I was centre striker.
Yeah, so you were in front.
I was in front of you. Yeah. You were centre mid, or you were
right wing.
Right wing, right?
Just do the short, fast. You know.
Yeah, you're in like the passer.
Yeah.
Like,
if I was feeling tired, that's just me.
Right.
Whereas centre mid, you're just constantly up, around, back, forwards.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
You just don't sit still.
So then, how did that work at a mixed school? Did you have like an all girls team?
Yeah. So the boys actually played hockey as well.
Yeah.
But obviously it was like there were so many people in our school.
Okay.
We literally had, you know how you have like the A teams, B teams, C teams?
Yeah.
Honestly, it went to like team E or F. And it was like a full one. Yeah, could you imagine?
Yeah, well, in mine it was just, I think there was A, B, and maybe there was a C, but I was always in the A team. Yeah. I'm sure you were as well. Did you do any other sports while growing up? Yeah,
so I've always been into horse riding.
Okay.
I got into that literally from like birth, basically, because my mum was a professional show jumper, so she's on the British team. She did flat horse racing as well.
Oh my god!
Honestly, she's a like superstar, superwoman.
That's amazing. Does she still do it?
No, she doesn't now. I think because I stopped.
Okay.
She just sort of...
Why did you stop that? Was it just...
I think, you know, when you like start to grow up selfishly, I think I just lost the love for the horses, and I was like, I just want to like go see my friends rather than like go ride. Like, just want to go do different things. And
what age was that?
I think I was probably about 15, 16.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was at that age where, you know, like you just want to go out, do things, like be social rather than...
I'm so not into the whole horses thing.
They're Marmite. I promise you they're Marmite.
No, yeah. So basically, as you are as well, you're a stepmom. I'm also a stepmom, but just to one, not to four. My God. And she's heavily into horse riding. And for the sake of her, I try to get myself into the whole horse riding, but it's just not... I thought I'm going to do it for her so that when we're at the dinner table and we're talking, I know what she's talking about. Like I've got, when she's like, oh, you know, she uses some fancy word, I'm like, I know what she's talking about.
Yeah, looking all cool.
But it just wasn't my thing. It's just, I'm not into it. I was like, when I was, you know, growing up, you know, my dad was a footballer, my brother was a tennis player. If I turned around and been like, oh, I want to do horses, my dad would be like, no, go and like do a country run, or go and like, you know, go running in the cold with your shorts on or something, you know, like, no, it just wouldn't.
It's funny, my dad does not like animals. He's not an animal person. No, whereas my mum's like obsessed with animals.
Yeah.
Like, me and my mum are very similar in that sense, like love animals.
I love animals. I love dogs. My dog's currently sitting on the floor sleeping, but it's just the horse thing. Like, even if I've got to go with my stepdaughter and she's like, oh, can you hold my horse? I'm like, holding it, I'm literally like, if this horse walks, I'm just letting it go because I can't deal. It's just the smell that like,
it's not flattering.
No,
I mean, once you're on riding and you look good riding, I'm sure think it's like the sexiest thing ever.
It's great,
but to get to that process, no, it's not fun.
Yeah, no. So all right, okay, that's fine. So basically, when I was growing up, being in an all girls school, I was friends with everybody. I never like got bullied at school or anything. But one thing that like really set on me, and I don't know if this was the same for you, was like the thing of like body image.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, I'm sure now if you attended an all girls school, it would be like the worst.
It'd be horrendous, yeah.
Social media and Instagram and this and that, it's super toxic. Back then, it was funny because when I was thinking about this podcast, I was trying to think like being in the changing rooms.
Like stepping back to school.
Yeah, stepping back into my school uniform. And I remembered like even one of my best friends, she was like breathing in to show her ribs when she was getting changed, like in case anyone was judging her.
I was never like that.
And I was like, oh my God, but I was super skinny. So
see, I was big at school.
Right.
I was quite a big girl. compared to now anyway.
And you didn't care.
Bigger. I think, the weirdest thing is when I was bigger, I honestly did not give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, I used to think I was so, like, cool and, like, beautiful. And I was just like, look at me.
That's
like,
amazing.
I don't care. Like, flick my hair. And because I knew that I was fit and healthy, but I was bigger.
Mm.
But now, like, I've lost the weight and I'm, like, fitter and healthier than really I've ever been. I'm the most self-conscious. It's the strangest, like, concept in your mind. Nuts. Yeah, it's weird. It's a very weird.
When you were growing up at school, did you ever have like anything with body image or the girls, I don't know, commenting things or?
Not really, no. I think because obviously you were around boys as well. I think everyone was so bothered about like impressing the boys. They weren't bothered about like insulting each other.
See, no, I never had in school like insulting each other, but there was this thing that, so I went to private all-girls school and the uniform was really expensive. And what they started doing was like the girl that was in the grade above you, she could sell you her uniform. Do you know what I mean? So you had like the size above or whatever. Okay. And I remember it was like a kind of like kilt skirt. So you had to like, there was a button inside here and you button it and then put the thing on top. Do you know what I mean? And I remember like kind of, I don't know, let's say I got Sarah's uniform and it would be too big. You was like, oh wow, like I'm thinner than Sarah.
I'm skinny.
I'm skinnier. and then you would kind of at the end of the year want your button to come in more and more and more. So that when, I got Lauren's uniform, they'd be like, oh my God, like, look at this. Like, it's fucking tiny.
Yeah.
There used to be that kind of thing like going on.
Yes, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, we didn't have that at school.
Very toxic.
Yeah, we didn't.
And you know what was super funny? A friend of mine, she said like, oh, you've got this bone here. And she was like, oh, you've got this bone. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, I've also got it. And then we went to another friend and she was like, oh no, I don't have it, because she was like, had more fat percent than us because we were like skinny as hell. And when I put on weight, I lost that. And then when I lost weight, I remember feeling here and being like, oh, I've got that bone back.
Yeah.
And being like, oh, and it's so weird. See, up until now, I will even sometimes touch there to make sure it's still there. How scarred.
It's crazy that, isn't it?
That's like, I need to go to therapy.
Yeah, it is crazy, stuff like that. Because I find that though, like with my back, when I used to get anxious, I used to like pinch my back fat.
Really?
Yeah, and I used to stand there doing it through my shirt and my blazer and stuff. Like I'd always do it if I was just nervous or anything.
And is that...
And I found myself, I go through stages where I'll like start to do it.
Is that because, you know what's so funny? I hardly weigh myself, but I could literally touch here and tell you what weight I am.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
Bizarre.
It is crazy. It's so in tune.
I mean, it's really crazy. But yeah, that was something that when I was growing up, those things were going on. I then went on to suffering with bulimia for many, many years. And I wouldn't say it came directly from that. I also had like a very toxic like family upbringing. Yeah. But that mix just wasn't...
No, it's not healthy.
Not healthy.
Great considering you grow up.
And I remember even I used to be in a running club as well, and they would have to measure you for your not your uniform, like your track gear or whatever it was. It was like kind of pants and a little crop top, and you would want to be like tiny for it. Even though I was
so
never
damaging, isn't it?
Yeah, I was never. But it just, I don't know, people's comments as well, even around like my stepdaughter. I hate when you're eating and someone comments like, oh, I wonder how many calories this dessert has. And I'm like, don't say that in front of her.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah.
You know, or like diets. And she doesn't need to hear about this.
Not at that age, no.
You know, it's like...
It's scary. Like, even just with like young girls now, like Isaac's oldest daughter, who's just turned 12, she like is obviously on TikTok, Instagram, and I mean, don't get me wrong, she's a beautiful child. But it's so damaging for her, really.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Seeing all these like beautiful girls, and because obviously she's mixed race, she's got the afro hair.
Yeah.
And she hates it. But
That's
honestly, like, I
shame.
just think it's beautiful, and she wants these braids in, and I'm just like, no, honestly, she's stunning.
But that's
got
like
the perfect like tan skin, green eye. Honestly, she's beautiful.
That's like the best combo. Yeah, tanned and green eyes.
I say this to you all the time, and your hair's so cool.
But it's always like the grass is always greener on the other side, and we always want like Amie came in today and I was like, I'd love to have my hair like that. You know, like, it's like, oh my God, like, what's wrong with us? Can you not just be happy, like, with the way that...
No, it's crazy because there's always something else, isn't there?
Absolutely. So, have you went through, like, a toxic time with fitness where you're still trying to find that balance of, like, fitness, mental health versus body image? Like, have you ever went through something like that where maybe fitness, instead of being like a good positive thing, it's been a negative thing?
Yeah, I do think like constantly I'm fighting it. Like each day I'm like, I find myself, if I give myself a rest, like you need to have rest days, I kick myself. Mm-hmm. Or like I'll go for a run in like when I was doing my marathon, in my marathon training, and if it wasn't a good run, honestly, for the rest of the day I'd be like, you're useless, you're this, you're that, you're the other. Mood. And I'm like, but hang on a minute, 2 days ago you just ran 18 kilometers and you ran it like it was nothing. Mm-hmm. But then I'm like, I twist it in my head and I'm like, oh, why can't I run 5K then? Why can't I do that? So I do find it's a day-to-day balance for me.
What is, like, how many days a week do you normally work out?
Well, obviously I've just been ill. I've just had an operation, so I had to have a month off. Okay. So I've obviously been told I have to just slowly work my way back into it. So at the moment I'm doing 3 days on. Okay. That's literally it.
What was like your, let's say, worst time where it was like 7 days a week?
Yeah, 7 days a week, sometimes twice a day.
Yeah.
Like trying to not eat very much. Mm-hmm. But I was obviously finding myself getting bigger because obviously my muscles were trying to repair, but they were getting swollen.
Well, also, was that when, what age was that then, more or less?
I'd probably say I was 22, 23. Yeah. So not even really that long ago.
Yeah. It's so crazy because I remember, I don't know how I came across this thing online. And basically, it was called Body Rock TV. And it was with this woman, and she was skinny. She had like an 8-pack. And she would do these like nut job, like body weight exercises, and it was HIIT training. And then you signed up for 30 days and all of this. And I signed up for it. And I must have been about 18. And it was like a 30-day challenge. Like you had to complete the 30 days. And I remember like exercising in my bedroom, and it was like burpees with tuck jumps. And you had to like, I was like the worst thing. And my knees, I remember my knees were getting sore at 18. Yeah.
Yeah. And my knees were like that from hockey.
Yeah. And my dad was like, I remember one time we were at home and I was meant to be like resting like in my room or something, and he could just hear me jumping around, and he came into my room and said, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, nothing, because I thought if my dad knows again that I'm exercising, he's gonna kill me. Yeah. I'm like, no, nothing. And it's just like, it's so hard. And I have to be super honest, I've only found this balance in the last year and a half. How I've got there, I don't know.
It's all a blur. Yeah. I find that though.
I don't have that answer.
I feel like I'm still trying to find the balance.
Yeah.
Because I'm, like I said before, I'm such a control freak.
Yeah.
Like I have to be in control of everything. And I think fitness, you can't be. Like the way that your body is, you can't be in control of it. You've just got to let it do what it wants to do. And I don't listen to it.
I think the big turning point for me was, I don't know if this time last year, but definitely a year and let's say 3 months ago, I was really heavily like affected with anxiety. That has like changed my life for the better, because I realized through that I was training, but I was also taking my rest. And I was noticing the more I was resting, the better I could train, the better my physique. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like I was really enjoying the weekends, not doing anything, going for a massage, drinking my BCAAs, like taking my glutamine, like into recovery. And it's such a huge thing, but it's very hard at the start when you're like, I want to lose weight. I want to run a marathon. I want to do this. It's like, you got to rest. Like if not.
Yeah. Because I think with me is when I first started, like actually focusing on fitness for myself, I didn't know what my goal was. I was like, what do I want to be at the end of it? And I'm like, I still don't know now. Like I'm still like, I'm just gonna.
But you have your races.
Yeah, that's why I feel like I have to constantly book something.
Yeah, to have a focus.
Yeah, because I did have High Rocks booked for October for the Birmingham one, but obviously because I've been ill.
Yeah.
Mentally, I'm like, no.
But that's good. Then you've learned.
Yeah.
But then you're learning like,
I have to do it properly if I'm going to do it. So I was like, no, I'm not ready. I'll wait till next year
And have you opened your own gym in England?
Yes, I've got my own gym.
Okay, so tell me about that because I don't even know much about this.
It's a cute little like boutique gym.
Yeah.
So my dad's got a hotel in the countryside in England, in Worcestershire, called the Elms Hotel. Mm-hmm. And I've got a gym like on the side of that.
That's so cool.
So it's perfect, really. Like it's like 10 minutes from my home. Like it's so ideal.
So basically, is this a gym where you can give PTs, where PT come, or the guests just work out, or what's the concept?
So we have obviously guests that can use the gym, and then also I do a couple of classes a week where I'll do like group sessions for people.
So you gift it?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. So we have like members as well that use the spa and the gym. So they pay like obviously like a gym membership.
Yeah.
And so they can join the classes as well. And then obviously I do the PT session separate.
I love that. So
it's brilliant, really.
So do you gift PTs like on your day-to-day basis?
Yeah, literally like every day, like 7 days a week. Yeah. But it's brilliant for me because obviously I can choose the hours I want to work. Yeah. And I'm fortunate in the sense of a lot of people that around that area like are kind of like mums that don't work, I suppose. Yeah. So the timings are perfect for me, so I can get up early, train myself. Yeah. Then I've got like the middle of the day and stuff where I'm training people. Then I've got my classes. Then I love that. Yeah, it's nice. It works really well.
That. Is that the gym that I've seen your Instagram? It's got a hip thrust. You've got like a hip thrust, not a Paritas. It's like you put your back on it and you can do hip thrust. Is that
gym? That's at another gym that I train at. But yeah.
You need to send me a video of your gym.
Yeah, I will. It's so cute. It's so
I love that.
It's cool because all the equipment's like black. It's just, when something's just aesthetic.
Aesthetic. We like that. Yeah. And then I'll need to come. I'll need to definitely come. And I'll do spa. I'll get my PT from you. Yeah. I love that. I was a PT, I think. I used to give PTs like 7 or 8 and then maybe 9 years ago. And it's so rewarding. It's such a rewarding thing.
This is why I love it, because I just love like watching people just like work out and enjoy it and then feel better about themselves. And because I've got a few older clients as well, and they're just the cutest people, and like just watching them feel like strong and good about themselves. Like honestly, there's generally no better feeling.
I love that. Like, and I'm sure, like you said, like you're training mums. I mean, we're going to take a small break from Trendy Talk, guys, to let me introduce you to Coco's Deli, a beautiful little deli in the heart of Puerto Portals, Mallorca. This healthy cafe does amazing coffees, lattes. It's there for your breakfast, brunch, and lunches. There to cater for gluten-free and vegan, and of course, that famous matcha latte. See you soon. It must be, I feel like now it's just so much pressure, like as a woman, like to bounce back and have this body, and it's,
I know, because nine times out of 10, like the moms come to me and they're like, so I spoke to this doctor and spoke to this doctor about getting this and getting that, but I just want to try this first. I'm like, honestly, don't do it. Like, don't go to a doctor or anything. But then I'm quite strict with people as well. I'm like, look, if that's your mindset and that's what you want to do and you're just doing this just cause, don't come and train with me. Yeah. Because I need you to know that you're serious as well, because I don't want to waste my time.
Exactly.
Like, don't get me wrong, of course, if you really want me to help you, I will, but I don't want to sit there and waste my time because you're essentially my work. Like, if you don't do anything, like, it looks bad on me.
No, I get that. Like,
so you have to be strict with it, really strict.
What do you think, like, was the change from you going from being hard on yourself, like, okay, that was a shit run, that was this, that was that. Maybe is it your partner that's helped you, like,
I was about to say,
where he's been like,
Amy,
you've just ran this.
Like, he's so good for me. Like the other day when we were here, we went for a run, and honestly, I was just like self-imploding. Like I was like, I feel fat, I feel horrendous. Like, why can't I run? Like getting all upset. I was like, why am I doing this? And he's just there, like I've told you before, and I'll tell you again. Like, I wouldn't be with you if you were all these things. Like, you're amazing. You need to like feel amazing. Like, do what, like, you can run. A lot of people can't run. Like, stop like taking things like that for granted. Like, I was ill a month ago and I cried when I had the operation because I could put my foot on the floor and actually walk properly. Yeah. And he was like, you sat there and was like, oh, I feel so fortunate that I can walk again. Like, stop like being so negative.
Yeah, I think also, I mean, you're normally in the UK. You're not used to this heat.
Yeah.
And the other day when you were going for a run, it wasn't like the best prep before because you were at fit. Yeah, you've been out all day and then you were at Fit Club. Then you were talking to me. Then you were talking to David. And then I was like, what are you going? Oh, we're going out for a run. And I was like, God, that's hot. I was like, I did think to myself, like, my God, that's dedication.
Yeah.
Because it was probably one of the hottest times.
We were literally chilling and I looked at him and I was like, should we go for a run? And he was like, okay then, Amie.
Yeah, like
your impulsive thoughts again.
It's like, oh God, I'd rather get harried.
Yeah. Literally.
He's like, Harry, just
take me away.
Get me really harried. Oh my goodness. It's like, oh, can't deal.
Sorry for him. He has to deal with both me and Harry.
True. He's either getting like you down the neck about the running or Harry about the drink. I can't deal. I used to be a very good runner. So I was like Scottish cross-country champion, 800 meter, 1500 meters, road champion, you name it. I did it. I did it all. My distance was then 10K. I think my best time was 30, I'm going to say 8 or 6 minutes. I can't remember.
That's good going.
No, it was really good.
That's really good going.
It's like the last thing I want to do now.
Yeah, it takes a lot on your body, you know. Like when I ran the London Marathon in April, I thought I'd finish it and feel like $1 million. I was like, oh, now what?
Yeah. But I think, you obviously run with a watch as well, right?
Yeah, with my Apple Watch. Yeah, it's literally, I'm obsessed.
Right. See, that is one thing that I can't wear anymore. I used to be obsessed. An Apple Watch is like, when you get to the gym and you go like that and you don't have it on, you're like, I'm just going to go home now because this fucking doesn't count.
Literally is what I say. I'm like, if you didn't start your watch, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need to get out of that mindset.
So I took off my Apple Watch. I used to have before Apple, was it a Sunto watch? Yeah, it was very like, it was kind of like a brand that's like known here. And Jesus Lord Christ, if you forgot to charge it, it would be like, okay, I just give up because I can't, I've not got my watch. Yeah. So I stopped wearing my Apple Watch, and that was a step that during my recovery from my eating disorder, they were like, that needs to go. And I was like, no, it doesn't. Like, no, like this is my life. Yeah. And then I think one day I don't know, or it broke or something. I think the screen broke because I was having like weights and the weight hit the screen and it smashed and it broke. And then I realized like after a time, I was like, I kind of forgot about it. Can you believe? And then recently when I went to America we're just now in April, and I was doing the bikini fitness competition, I thought I'm going to start wearing my Apple Watch again. Haven't worn it in a while. And I was like, fuck this. I said to my mum, that does me no good. If you want to have it, you can have it. I didn't like that when I was on a plane, I'd be like sleeping and it'd be like buzzing. Then you look, it's like, you got to stand up. And it's like, I'm on a fucking plane. Like, and then it makes you like cautious and be like, God, I've been sitting down for a long time. Oh my God, where can I go? Oh, can I go around for a walk? Trapped, when I just walk around the plane, they're going to think that I'm like a weirdo, like terrorist or something. So then you're like, what can I do? Yeah. And I didn't like it. And I didn't like that, for example, I would go in like the stepper machine, not to kind of warm up even for my workout. And then I would just be like, oh, I'll start it for the 10 minutes. And then look at the 10 minutes and you'd be like, I've definitely burnt 200 calories. And it'd be like 83 calories. And then you'd be like, that's like an egg and a half. And I thought, no, this thing has to go. Like, doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I know. I went for a stage like that where like obviously you want to close all the rings because then you can get like your January month, February month, like all of that. And I was like, oh my God, I can get a year here. Like this is cool. Like I love this. Mm-hmm. And then to be fair, since obviously being ill, I then obviously haven't used it because I can't exercise, and it's done me the world of good.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like obsessed with it.
It can get obsessive. And another thing, that was the thing, is you can set your achievements. And us being girls, don't we set stupid fucking achievements?
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, I should be burning 1,000 calories today. Pff, make it 2,000. Come on. Let's make it 2. How many steps a day should I be doing? Make it 30,000. Let's do this. And then, of course, what happens at the end of the day? You've failed because you haven't reached the 2,000 calories and you haven't reached the...
And then you're fuming.
And then you're fuming and pissed off at yourself. So... I wouldn't recommend.
It's so funny.
Yeah. You said that you've done a marathon.
Yeah.
Why did you choose to do a marathon? Why a marathon?
If I'm being completely honest with you, I don't know. Like, I was like, I need to do something.
Yeah.
And then I was like, do you know what? I want to do something for charity.
Yeah.
So my grandma, who like is my best friend.
She's your life.
She's got Alzheimer's.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, what better things to run for Alzheimer's? So yeah, was like, okay, I'll do that. And luckily I got in to the ballot for London Marathon because that's so hard. Yeah. And then also a charity place. And I was like, oh, I'll obviously do the charity place.
What do you mean the charity place?
So you have to apply. So you have to apply for the London Marathon for like the ballot. It's like normal people, like normal people, but anyone could run it. Yeah. And then it's so hard to get into. And then a charity place is obviously if you've run for a charity before or you've done anything for a charity, they give you the option to run for the London Marathon.
Oh, really?
But obviously you've got to raise a certain amount.
Right. Okay. So how much did you raise then?
So I raised nearly $8,000.
Oh my goodness.
I was very pleased.
That's amazing.
I know. It was really good, to be fair.
That's really nice. I bet that really like motivated of you as well. And like finishing that. Crossing the finish line, just like thinking of your grandma. That's such a... And I bet you she was so happy.
She was. I mean, she didn't really understand what was going on, but she knew that like I'd done something for her. Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
I know. That's why I got the little tattoo of her handwriting for the marathon. Yeah.
Oh, is that her handwriting? I love this.
Yeah, it's cute.
So what does it say?
It says, life is tough, my darling, but so are you.
Oh, I love that. That's so nice. Oh, we love that grandma. That's so nice.
Bless her. She's a funny one.
I wanted to, before I got into the whole bikini fitness, my plan was actually to do Kilimanjaro.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I really want to do this. And then I met this guy in Miami, extremely, extremely inspiring. We've actually had him on the podcast. His name's Alvaro. And Alvaro is a nutcase. He's like, I can't keep up with him. He's the only person that I'm like, you make me feel exhausted. So he has done this ultra race, which is, I think it's like 6 or 7 marathons in 7 days.
Yeah, people like
in
that
the Sahara
crazy.
Desert.
Yeah, it's not for me that.
I'd
love to watch and support.
Oh yeah, I'll hold your jacket at the end. See you at the finish line. He's done it with, I think it was like 10 kilos, a 10-kilo disc on his back.
Just why?
And he did it for a cause. He did it for people that suffered with depression. And after meeting him, and he's got a book, and I read his book, I was like, this is so freaking inspiring. I've always wanted to do Kilimanjaro. I had the suffering of anxiety, and I was like, do you know what? I want to do it for all women out there that have suffered from anxiety, that are going through a hard time. I want to do it with 5 kilos on my back.
That's nice.
Let's do it. So that's definitely, for me, in the books, even David Fit Club was like, I'll do it with you.
Yeah, count me in. I'd do that.
Join.
Especially for anxiety, because that's been a massive thing for me.
So, and what was that for you then, the anxiety? What was your story about that?
It's something that I feel like has grown the older I'm getting. Mm-hmm. Like I'm sensitive, but I'm also quite hard. Like a lot of people would find me quite cold because I'm like, you don't deserve to get into my skin. Like you don't deserve to know who I am as a person. Mm-hmm. So I can be quite standoffish, and I'm like, you don't need to talk to me. Like, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
But then it's because there's obviously this person in there that's very like quiet and nervous. Like public speaking is a no-go for me. Like,
well, I mean, you're doing very well now.
Yeah. Like, even like when I first opened the gym, I was petrified.
Really?
I was so anxious because I was like, how am I going to talk to all these new people? Like,
so is it just because you're scared of them judging you, or?
I just, you know, when you just don't, sometimes you don't have enough self-belief. Like I've done all this training, all this work, all these qualifications, been to uni, like, you know as much as you'll ever know. And I'm like, stop doubting yourself.
Yeah, it's like the self-belief.
Yeah. you're like, oh, but what if they, question me on something? And then I'm like, I don't know. God.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I think it helps having just like the support system around you. I mean, now you've got a great support system that is telling you you're being hard on yourself and you should believe in yourself. But is it something that like you try to deal with through your running? Like, does the running help
running's
your anxiety?
like being a game changer for me. Like, I'm anxious, I put my trainers on, go for a run. Yeah. I feel sad, put my trainers on, go for a run.
Yeah.
And I think only until obviously I've started to get into running seriously, it's not had a negative effect on me whatsoever, because mentally it still helps me. But obviously I've been putting pressure on myself 4 times and 4 different things. So I've got to go back to finding that balance of running, because it's good for me.
Yeah.
And it's something that I've always loved and always needed to keep in my life.
I think there's a healthy balance in everything. There's also a healthy balance to using an Apple Watch as well. Yeah. But I think if you're always using your running because you're like, I'm feeling down right now, go for a run. I'm feeling anxious right now, go for a run.
Yeah.
It could be I'm feeling like super lazy, go for a run.
Yeah.
You've got to also find like different ways to kind of deal with those things, because if you're always just going for a run, the thing is going for a run can be like then turn into a negative thing, and
because it's something
you're relating to negativity, and it's funny because the only reason, I mean, not the only reason, I mean, I go to Fit Club because I also have my posing practice there, but sometimes like I'll just get up and just walk to Fit Club, and I know that I'll go and run into Jackie and I can talk to her, or I'll see your brother or whatever. And it's like me doing it for my mental health in like a really weird way, So it's like I'm going to the gym just for my mental health, or even just go on the treadmills for 10 minutes.
Just to do something.
Just to get out, talk with somebody, see new things, and then come back like feeling better. One thing I really want to get back into is yoga.
Yeah, a lot of people say I should do that.
Oh, I love yoga.
But I just don't know if I've got the patience for it.
But there's different types of yoga. Yeah. Because I'm the same. I'm literally just like this yin yoga. That looks
like,
lovely.
Please don't tell me to do a cat pose or whatever. It's
no. Like, just you go and do that. That's not my vibe. Vinyasa, so my vibe. Is your vibe. That's like you're flowing all the time.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't mind that.
Like
obviously,
Amie
I don't know.
Yoga that does yoga here in Mallorca, her vinyasa flows like your rest is plank position.
Oh, brilliant.
No.
Oh my God. I die.
Can't wait. When's the next class?
Yeah, we won't be going.
You're like, okay. Well, I like that flow, where it's like.
No, I definitely should get into it. It's something I should do. Just to mix it up as well.
Yeah, with being a stepmom, like what's the kind of things that you're going to be wanting to put as a priority for them? Like in a way of fitness, in a way of body image, mindset, like what kind of things would you...
I just generally want them to just love themselves. Like I know that's such a cliche thing to say, but honestly they are such beautiful kids inside and out as well. Like credit to obviously Isaac and the mum, because they've done a brilliant job. Like they're beautiful kids, but I just want them to like constantly love themselves. And if they don't want to do sport, don't do sport. Like do what you want to do. If you want to go and do nails, if you want to go, I don't know, climb a mountain, like, do whatever you want to do. Go and be a solicitor, I don't know. Like I would never say, right, go to the gym, do this, do that. Like I bring them to the gym with me because obviously they're on summer holidays and they're there like
that's so cool,
running around trying to lift weights. Like Amy, watch me do this. Amy, watch me do that. And they're so cute.
That's really good. Like that's a really positive thing for them to see, like stepmom and dad going to the gym, living a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, it's good for them because I think like I came from obviously a broken home, and I think them coming from a broken home, they're at this age where they're so influenced. Yeah. And I think especially the oldest girl and the youngest one, I'm extremely close to. Like me and them two have got such a really strong bond.
The youngest and the oldest.
The youngest and the second oldest.
Okay.
Yeah. So the oldest one's a boy.
Yeah.
Then there's the 3 girls.
Right.
But the second oldest and the youngest are the ones that I'm like
closest
inseparable, to. Yeah. And I think as much as I've needed them, they've needed me.
Yeah.
Just to be like seen and to be loved. And
do you try like when you guys have them like, okay, I'm gonna make this food a certain way or try and encourage them to...
Yeah, like I'll sit, especially the younger one, she'll sit with me and help me cook, and she'll like help me cut things up and start stirring so she can like understand. And I'm not a big fan for like juice. I've got a really weird thing for like, I just don't want them drinking juice.
Like apple juices.
Yeah, unless it's obviously like fresh, it's fine. But all that like carton stuff, it's just not for me.
Yeah.
Or like squash and
just
things.
Don't have it at home.
Yeah, so I don't. So I think they live a very different lifestyle when they're with me, because I'm quite like, right, come on, like here's some cucumber, and I'll just put it on their plate. Don't give them a choice. Like here's some water.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we want to be like Amie, we want to drink water, and I'm like, brilliant.
Yeah. That's like, nice.
Great. Yeah.
That's a great thing, because it's, of course, you're gonna set an example, and they're just gonna follow.
Yeah.
So it's kind of also like me and my stepdaughter. It's like, you want them to be healthy, and she's an amazing eater, but it's also like, you also want them to enjoy. It's like that kind of balance that you've got to kind of like watch out, because you don't want to be like, okay, you've had too much chocolate now.
Yeah, well, Isaac's the soft one, and they'll like go and whisper to him being like, Daddy, can we have some sweets? And I'm there like my ears prick, and I'm like, excuse me, what? Did I hear the word sweets? I'm like, here's a carrot.
Like, yes, you will find it in the fridge, the bottom drawer. They're in the bag. They're in the bag that looks like carrots. Well, it's been so nice just like talking with you, and I know, and actually spending time together, because
it's so funny. We always say it. We're like, right, we need to catch up.
I know. Well, we still do need to catch up.
Yeah.
But you're leaving tomorrow. I know, and I'm like, oh. But yeah, Amie also loves coming to Coco's Deli. If you're in Mallorca, check out Coco's Deli.
Yes, it's amazing.
So does Harry. Harry's always, he was waving at me the other day.
He's so funny.
He was passing by, and I was like, and he was giving me kisses, and I was like taking people's orders, and I was like, there you go. He's a fun one. So you're going to be doing a run. Have you done a run today? Are you going for another one?
Well, we're going to go out for dinner, because obviously it's our last night tonight.
Oh, where are we going?
Somewhere Italian, I think. Somewhere in the port. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Maybe Ritzy?
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
All right.
Dad was just like, be ready. I was like, okay, I'll be ready. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to go for food, and then I'll see how I feel later on. Maybe.
Later after dinner?
Yeah, maybe.
No, relax.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. It's your last night in Mallorca.
I know, but we'll see.
Oh my goodness. Go out for a nice walk. Have you guys not got dogs?
Not here, no. At home, yeah.
In the UK you do?
Yeah, at home I've got my little dogs.
Just so you can go for a nice walk. I mean, let's face it, they're going to be harried at this point.
Yeah, I know. I was like, Eyes, can you make sure you come back as my fiance, not as some random drunk man, please?
I'm sure he won't. He's a really good guy.
So funny.
Well, guys, we hope that this episode inspired you in some way or helped you in some way. I'm going to even put down Amy's like TikTok, or maybe put down.
If you're in the Worcestershire area and you'd like a PT session,
yes, we'll put we'll put that all in the description. That's a great shout out as well. And thank you so much, guys. I'll also put down my social media as well, and you can check out some fitness, bikini, athlete inspo as well. So thanks for joining, guys. Stay trendy, and see you at the next one. Bye.
Bye.